the time we walked up in there that this was going to be tragic.
Hurricane Ida tore a path straight for Tangipahoa Parish, straight for the Independence Warehouse complex that was supposed to be a safe haven for 843 Southeast Louisiana nursing home residents.
They packed us in there like sardines.
It smelled horrible. I was shocked.
There's too many people in one spot.
She says she's in hell.
Residents and staff say a safe haven it was not.
All this was weighing on my heart, that these patients suffered. They suffered.
This worker, telling their story for the first time, asked not to be identified.
Patients had been in wheelchairs for 2 days straight.
This 34-minute video begins at 1:25 a.m. August 30th, just after Ida rolled through. The power is out, and so are the generators. You can see residents in wheelchairs. Some are sleeping in chairs, others on the floor. A look around reveals tube-fed patients on beds and bariatric patients on wooden cots fitted with mattresses. Some psych patients yell periodically. Other residents call for nurses, asking for water, asking for help. We blurred the faces of patients and staff to protect their privacy in this lengthy look inside the warehouse that has never been seen before. The worker says some residents stayed in wheelchairs for days. Lisa Renard, who you met last night, is one of them.
The way I knew I was in trouble, because I smelled decaying flesh. My leg had an odor that was smelling bad.
A diabetic, she lost much of her left leg, amputated when gangrene set in following the evacuation.
I cannot imagine that would happen.
An attorney for Bob Dean, the owner of the nursing homes and the warehouse, says staff members did not recall Renard spending days in her chair. But Renard says she was forced to sleep in it, to use the bathroom on herself in it. The worker says others were stuck on their mattresses, using water pitchers for urinals.
But we were on our knees. That was filth. We were on our knees trying to clean and change people.
And the rows of porta potties in this picture taken by the Louisiana Fire Marshal were in the same building as all the residents. So there was no separation between the rows of porta potties and the mattresses?
No, all they had was a divider that was separating it. That's it.
This is the facility the nursing homes got, despite paying tens of thousands every year to Dean's real estate holding company, Plaquemine Plaza Holdings, LLC, just in case they needed to use it as an evacuation site. That means nursing homes owned by Dean were paying another company also owned by Dean. Many of the nursing homes' evacuation plans submitted to the Louisiana Department of Health in 2019 and 2020 included this contract, a one-page agreement to pay $20,000 a month.
When you buy a building of that size, and it's big, you know, you've got a mortgage payment, you've got taxes, you've got insurance, you've got monthly maintenance. So what he did was all 7 of the nursing homes would pay towards that monthly expense. And it was not $20,000 per nursing home. I think the total of the 7 came up to $20,000.
McClendon admits he didn't know specifics, but if they all paid equal amounts, that would mean each home paid more than $34,000 a year to possibly use the warehouse. We looked at data from some of the cost reports the nursing homes submitted to Medicare. In 2019, Maison de Ville of Harvey reported paying more than $64,000 for a building lease evacuation center cost. The exact amount all 7 paid is unclear from the cost report data we reviewed.
It seems rather shocking that they would be paying for something like that monthly. But this is a way to funnel money from the operating company through to another company that's owned by the same owner. So it's a way to make money.
Nursing home expert and UC San Francisco professor emeritus Charlene Harrington says it's a common practice for nursing home owners to pay themselves through other businesses they own. One company's cost is another's revenue, but they're all owned by the same people. She says they often do it to avoid litigation, regulation, and to hide profits.
If they show that they're operating with a very low profit margin or even a loss, then it gives them a better argument with the government to say, we need higher payment rates.
The government, Medicaid, and Medicare. Their payments are the largest source of revenue for nursing homes. McClendon says it's not the case with the warehouse, that Dean wanted the homes to share the costs of the facility. But that money fell short of providing an evacuation facility that could fully withstand a hurricane.
You had to move patients from the wall because the water was coming through, and I mean, in some spots, the patients still laid in the water.
There were few real beds for most of the residents, real bathrooms, or even a kitchen. This is video of it.
The area where they were cooking outside, it was not even 5 feet from all the trash. It was nothing but dirty diapers and, oh my God, anything that had feces on it was cooking right by it.
Advocates would ask the question, where was the $20,000 going if those were the conditions that people were in? Why weren't there permanent bathrooms, for example?
Well, so if you did that, I imagine that $20,000 would probably be $30,000 or $40,000 a month. For a building that you only use very rarely, hopefully only very rarely, when a Category 4 hurricane's heading towards you.
The Louisiana Department of Health says nursing homes can pay lease payments to companies with a shared owner, but Medicaid has guidelines for how much. While the state's review of what happened with Ida and the warehouse is expected to continue through the end of the year, the memories of it all will keep playing in the workers' mind.
Were they getting their medications?
A lot of patients was not getting their medications. A lot of them. And I mean, how could they? I mean, they were everywhere.
The helpers of the helpless spent days praying for help themselves.
I felt so bad for them because they couldn't do for themselves, and all they could do is just lay there and cry. Like, oh my God.
Well, the worker I interviewed said they never want to work in a nursing home setting again after this incident. They were one of more than 800 laid off after the state revoked Dean's 7 nursing home licenses following the warehouse evacuation. He's currently appealing to get them back, and that process is ongoing.